Welcome back to Kids Castle. If you've been searching for a screen-free way to help your toddler pick up new words, something they can actually hold, touch, and use on their own, you've probably come across talking flashcard sets. Today, we're taking a close look at the QuTZ Talking Flashcards, a 224-word set aimed at kids ages 1 to 6. We'll cover what it does well, where it falls short, and whether it's the right pick for your child. Let's get into it. Here's a quick snapshot of what you're getting. The set is recommended for ages 2 to 5, though younger and older kids can still get value from it. You get 224 total sight words spread across 12 learning categories, with 112 double-sided cards. The reader itself is ultralight at just 2.85 ounces, easy for small hands to hold. Battery life runs about 4.5 hours per charge. It comes with a storage bag, and it's USB rechargeable. A lot packed into a small package. Before we get into the product itself, a quick word on the brand. QuTZ focuses on early childhood educational toys with a Montessori-style philosophy, meaning the toys are designed to let kids explore and learn at their own pace, without needing an adult hovering over them. They lean into sensory play, tactile, auditory, and visual engagement, and their lineup includes phonics books, learning pads, and flashcards. So this talking flashcard set fits right into their core mission. Here's how it actually works, and it really is this simple. You turn on the reader, you slide a card into the slot at the top. The reader instantly says the word out loud, and for animal or vehicle cards, it also plays the matching sound. If your child wants to hear it again, they press the repeat button. If the volume's too loud or too soft, there's a volume button too. That's it. No app, no setup, no pairing. A 3-year-old can operate this without any help. Let's talk vocabulary. 224 sight words is a solid amount for this age range. It covers the core words toddlers encounter in their everyday world. Because the cards are double-sided, you get 2 words per card, which is why the set fits into 112 physical cards. And those words aren't random. They're organized into 12 themed categories, which makes it easier for parents to do focused learning sessions. You can pull out just the animal cards one day, just the food cards the next. One of the features that really sets this apart from a basic flashcard set is the dual sensory feedback. When you insert an animal card, you don't just hear the word dog, you hear an actual bark right after. Vehicle cards work the same way, the word car, followed by an engine sound. That combination of word plus real-world sound creates a stronger memory connection for young kids. It's the kind of multi-sensory reinforcement that helps vocabulary actually stick. Here's the full breakdown of the 12 categories. You've got animals, food, colors, shapes, nature, jobs, vehicles, fruits, vegetables, costumes, daily necessities, and persons. It covers pretty much every corner of a toddler's world. The things they see at home, the people they interact with, the vehicles they spot outside. This kind of broad coverage is what makes the set work as a general vocabulary builder rather than just a one-trick toy. Zooming in on a few of the everyday categories, vehicles covers cars, buses, and other transport your child sees every day. Fruits and vegetables help with food recognition and can even make mealtime conversations easier. Costumes touch on dress-up and role-play vocabulary. Daily necessities covers the everyday objects around the house, toothbrushes, cups, that kind of thing. And persons covers family and community roles. It's grounded in real life, which is exactly what works best at this age. This is a section I want to spend a little time on because it's where the product really shines. Many parents of children with speech delays have given this very strong feedback. The reason is simple. The device is patient, it's repetitive, and it's completely non-judgmental. A child can press repeat 20 times on the same card, and the reader never gets frustrated, never rushes them, never changes its tone. One parent shared that their son repeated each card over 20 times with no frustration, just learning at his own pace. For children on the autism spectrum, the same qualities that help with speech delays apply here too. The responses are completely predictable. Insert a card, hear the word. Every single time. The device doesn't react negatively, doesn't get impatient, doesn't show any emotion at all, which for some kids is exactly what they need to feel safe exploring language. And the repeat button means there's no limit on how many times they can hear the same sound. These are real, reported benefits from parents of children with both speech delays and autism. Now let's talk about something a lot of parents today care about: screen time. This toy is completely screen-free. No tablet, no app, no phone required. It's tactile. Kids physically pick up and insert each card. It encourages independent exploration. They can use it on their own. And it's unplugged from the digital world entirely. If you're trying to reduce screen time without losing the educational value, this is a meaningful alternative. Let's look at how the reader itself is built. At 285 ounces, it's genuinely light. Small hands can hold it comfortably without fatigue. The dimensions, about 4.1 by 3.5 by half an inch, make it compact enough to slip into a bag. Safety-wise, the edges are rounded, there are no sharp corners, and the plastic body is durable. The reader itself gets positive marks from most users. But, and we'll get to this in a moment, card durability is a completely separate story. This is the biggest drawback, and I want to be straight with you about it. About 70% of negative reviews mention card durability as an issue. The cards are thin cardstock. They're not laminated. That means they can bend, tear, and they don't hold up well to chewing or moisture. If you have a toddler who's rough with paper, who rips books, who chews on everything, these cards are going to struggle. The reader itself is solid. The cards are the weakest part of the whole package. That's an important distinction. Controls are intentionally simple. There's a repeat button for instant replay, great for reinforcing pronunciation. There's a volume button with 3 sound levels, so you can adapt to a quiet bedroom or a busier living room. And the layout is basic enough that most 3-year-olds can operate it without adult help after the first demonstration. One theme in parent reviews is exactly that: a 3-year-old using it independently with no problem. Portability is a genuine strength. At about 71 grams, that's under 3 ounces, the reader is ultra light. It's 4.1 inches across, so it fits in a small bag easily. Battery life is around 4.5 hours per full charge, which is enough for most road trips and daily play sessions combined. And the set comes with a drawstring storage bag to keep the cards organized. It's a toy you can genuinely throw in a diaper bag and take with you. A closer look at the battery. The charging port is micro USB, and the cable comes included. You won't need to go hunting for one. The battery itself is built in and rechargeable, so there are no disposable batteries to buy or replace. 4.5 hours per full charge is enough for short trips, daily play sessions, and covers most real-world play scenarios without needing a top-up. One thing I always like to check: does the claimed battery life actually hold up? The manufacturer says 4.5 hours per charge. Based on user reviews, real-world experience matches that claim pretty closely. For daily home use, it's reliable. For short road trips, it's reliable. Not every product delivers on its battery claims, so it's worth noting when one actually does. Let's talk about what other parents are saying. Based on verified Amazon customer ratings as of April 2026, the set holds a 4.5 out of 5 average across more than 8,600 reviews. That's a large sample size, and about 90% of reviewers rate the product as both educational and engaging. Ratings can always fluctuate, but with this many reviews, the overall sentiment is pretty stable. Breaking down those 8,600 plus reviews further, 4.5 out of 5 overall. Over 90% of customers rate the educational value highly. Over 90% say their kids stayed engaged and interested over time, which is meaningful because a lot of toddler toys lose their appeal fast. And on the negative side, the card durability issue shows up in about 70% of the negative reviews. It's the single most common complaint. With a sample size this large, these trends are reliable signals. So, what do customers love most? 2 themes come up over and over. First, educational impact. Parents repeatedly mention their toddler picking up words faster than they expected. Second, long-term engagement. Kids coming back to it day after day, sometimes playing for 30 minutes or more at a stretch. A toy that keeps a toddler's attention for 30 minutes without a screen is genuinely rare, and that's a big part of why this set gets the scores it does. On the flip side, here's what customers didn't love. Two main complaints. First, the flimsy cards we already mentioned. About 70% of negative reviews cite card durability as the issue. Thin cardstock that tears, bends, and doesn't hold up to rough toddler handling. Second, the volume. Max volume can feel insufficient in noisy environments like busy rooms or outdoors. For quiet home use, it's fine. For a loud car ride or an outdoor play space, you might want it louder, taking one more look at the design. The reader is compact at 4.1 by 3.5 inches, with a clear word display at the top that triggers the audio the moment you insert a card. The 224 cards are vibrant, color-coded by category, and spread across the 12 learning categories we covered earlier. Visually, it's a friendly, welcoming design that appeals to toddlers, which matters a lot when you're trying to get them to actually pick it up and use it. Here's what you get in the box. The card reader itself, 112 flashcards. Remember, that's 224 words because they're double-sided. A micro USB charging cable, included, not sold separately. A storage bag to keep the cards organized, which is more important than it sounds once you've got a toddler scattering 112 cards around the living room. And a clear, easy-to-follow instruction manual. Nothing critical is missing. One thing worth flagging before you buy, some of the illustration choices are a little odd. There's a red wine card included in what's marketed as a toddler set, which is a strange inclusion for this age group. The doll card is illustrated as a teddy bear, which can confuse kids learning the actual words. A couple of shape category icons are also unclear. These are minor issues overall, but if you have a younger toddler, you may want to pre-screen the deck and set aside any cards you don't want in rotation. On long-term reliability, most units handle regular toddler use well, and day-to-day durability is generally solid. There is a small percentage of users who reported their unit failing within the first few weeks. It's not a widespread pattern, but it's not zero either. Worth mentioning so you know what to watch for in the early weeks of ownership. Safety-wise, the toy passes the basics. No chemical odors. Parents haven't reported any off-gassing or unusual smells. The edges are rounded and toddler-safe. The plastic is child-safe with no sharp points. There is one caution worth noting. There was an isolated report of a charger incident, so standard supervision during micro USB charging is recommended. That's true for any rechargeable toy, not just this one, but it's worth flagging. On pricing, this sits in the budget-friendly tier of talking card readers. It's an affordable entry point, and the value for money rating from users is around 4 out of 5. For 224 words across 12 categories, that's a lot of educational content at an accessible price. If you're a parent looking for screen-free learning without spending a lot, this is one of the more approachable options in the category. Here's how I think about the overall value. Card durability comes in low, around 2 out of 5. That's the weak spot. Developmental gains, on the other hand, speech support, vocabulary building, independent learning, come in high impact. When you weigh them against each other, the educational benefits meaningfully outweigh the card quality issue for most families. The cards are a trade-off, not a deal-breaker. So is it worth your money? Three-part equation. The cost is budget-friendly, one of the more affordable talking card readers out there. The return is high educational value. 224 words, 12 categories, strong speech therapy support. The caveat is card quality. The cards need care, and you might want to laminate them or supervise younger toddlers with them. Overall rating lands at 4 out of 5. For kids ages 3 to 5, especially for screen-free learning and speech practice, it's a smart buy. Quick summary of what makes this toy stand out. Vocabulary, 224 sight words across 12 categories. Interactive sounds, word pronunciation combined with real sound effects for animals and vehicles, the kind of 2-in-1 audio feedback that reinforces memory. and ease of use. It's designed for independent play from age 2 and up, with no adult help required after the first demonstration. Insert a card. Hear the word. Learn. It really is that simple. The final verdict. Features: 4.5 out of 5. Durability: 2 out of 5, dragged down almost entirely by the cards. Value: 4 out of 5. Overall, 4 out of 5. It's ideal for speech therapy support for kids ages 3 to 5 doing screen-free learning, and for travel and on-the-go play. You might want to skip it if your toddler is really hard on paper, or if you need high-volume audio output for loud environments. Know your kid, and you'll know if this fits. That wraps up our look at the QuTZ talking flashcards. If you found this review helpful, hit the like button. It really does help the channel grow. Subscribe so you don't miss future toy reviews, and check the description below for the full review details and the purchase link. Thanks for watching Kids Castle, and I'll see you in the next review.